He is a monster.
I'm shaking.
There he is. He's on the ground.
Look at this buck.
I got him. Yes.
Look at this.
He is a dandy.
What a buck.
Oh my gosh.
Beautiful, beautiful 10 point. That's why we do this.
It's very interesting when you start talking about subgroups, which to me basically evolve around specific areas in terms of habitat as opposed to subspecies.
The northern woodland subgroup is one of the most interesting of all the subgroups. They're probably the prettiest deer of all the subgroups.
We think of those as being very big deer. That's the borealis subspecies, which is often talked about, as the biggest subspecies that we have.
Yes, they're big deer. Yes, they're big antlers. And yes, they're fun to hunt. But habitat, terrain-wise, be adaptable, just like if you go into any of the others.
The northern woodlands territory encompasses diverse whitetail habitat over an expansive area from eastern and central Canada, south through eastern Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Illinois, then east through Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York. Mature northern woodlands bucks are often giants, combining mild winters with access to farm-raised corn and soybean protein. These bucks often reach 300 pounds, with antlers scoring over 160 inches pope and young.
Just a gorgeous buck, folks.
Bergmann's rule is a well-known principle of biology and states that the body size of mammals increases as you travel toward the polar ice caps, because larger bodies are needed by these animals to retain heat and survive the brutally cold temperatures.
Boy, that's a big body deer.
Hunters are often amazed at the size differences of whitetails as they move even one state north or south. Although body size generally increases as you travel north, the most fertile soils and croplands generally produce the highest average antler measurements, regardless of location.
The northern woodland subgroup, that's near and dear to my heart because that's where I live and where I have done most of my hunting. And the habitats, they're pretty varied. It can go from almost entirely forested, particularly as you get up into the northern New England states and some pretty high elevation areas, down to a real good mix of agriculture and forest, even to the western part of that group where it's almost entirely agriculture.
A lot of the things that I'm going to look for is where a deer can be secluded and not be seen. If there's an area where I drive into the farm and I can't see that area from the road or from the truck, that's an area I'm gonna zone in on because those deer are gonna feel comfortable. They know where they can come out into that field or into that staging area where they can't be seen with the naked eye.
I just want to point out this area right here is a typical ideal bedding area for a dominant buck to stay. You have a big sheer bluff behind us, so nothing's going to happen back there. They can lay in this, you can see how thick this is. They can lay in here, they can do a visual out there, or they can scent check this whole area, and this is ideal spot. If you can find a spot like this, you know this is where your bucks are. Now you don't want to disturb it, and we're not going to walk through here because we never come out here and disturb it, only for just to explain to you what this looks like. We have stands off at that direction, stands out that ridge, but we don't have anything out here because we don't want to bother these deer. We want to give them their safety. And then they come out of here, out to our food plots that we have over there, where all the does are at, and that's where we catch them when they're traveling out to the food plots checking the does. And this is what you're looking for as far as a bedding area. Bucks are safe here, they're not bothered, they're protected from everything right here as far as their scent and the wind, visual, everything. Ideal spot to look for when you're trying to find where your bucks are bedding.
As time has gone on, as whitetail populations have increased, whitetail is now where young people learn their hunting skills. And the whitetail is a perfect animal for developing good woodsmanship and good hunting skills. They're very intelligent, they're very adaptable, And if you let a buck get to a reasonable age, and maturity is 4.5 years old, he's a very difficult animal to kill.
New York buck hunter Cy the Gruntman Weichert has been hunting the rut on his home property near Syracuse, New York. As the remnants of Hurricane Sandy pelt the area with a mixture of rain and snow, the hunting is slow. But as the clouds part and the weather clears, Cy heads to a location he calls the Stretcher Tree. The tree stand overlooks a well-worn travel corridor adjacent to a weedy meadow. With the rut firing up, Cy rattles into the distance, hoping to entice a buck out of the meadow.
Over a period of the next 10 or 15 minutes, we hear that buck breaking stuff as he's coming in. All of a sudden, he appears on camera, comes out in the goldenrod field. He's just cruising side to side, scent checking as he comes.
He ain't going far.
What a beautiful buck. He made a good shot, and he's down right over there. There it is. That Range Extreme does a number, I'll tell you what. There he is, a beautiful long tine 8-point. A little damage to his rack there. He must have whacked it on something. He is beautiful. Beautiful. Neck is all thick, getting ready to rut here. It's November 5th. This buck was cruising, looking for action. We got a great long G2s and G3s. Just a beautiful animal. Central New York. This part of the state really grows big bucks. He's just a beautiful buck and a perfect specimen of the northern woodlands whitetail.
Everything's about this antler size these days. You know, the great thing about the Whitetail Slam is it's just focusing on harvesting 4 mature whitetails.
The Whitetail Slam allows us to involve the multitude, let everyone get involved, be proud of the trophy deer that grow in their area.
Look at this old warrior. Let me put the Matthews down.
What I'm excited about that's going on here in this great concept is now we're going to get people to give a, quote, Boone and Crockett score to the experience. And the subspecies of deer, you say, I've got to go to Mexico, or I've got to go to, you know, the western United States to hunt cow's deer, and I've experienced that, you know? And I think that's where this maturity of the hunter is going. It's going to the experiential as well as the score.
Log on to Whitetail Slam now and register your first buck toward the Slam. Next week on Whitetail Slam, Ohio buck hunter Tim Woods heads to the stand in search of a buck he's nicknamed Caesar. And Mississippi hunter Dean Scott heads to the swamps in search of the elusive Gulf Coast whitetail. Closed captioning for Whitetail Slam is provided by Nose Jammer. Wrong wind? No problem. Jam 'em. Start your quest for the Slam. Register for the giveaway only at Whitetail Slam. Plan your hunts with Scoutlook Weather's Deer Log app for iPhone and Android. It's the ultimate weather and deer logging tool. Get pinpoint weather, our revolutionary scent cone wind map, solar lunar times, moon data, and the world's easiest deer logging system all on your smartphone. Log every deer from your tree stand and capture weather details automatically. View and analyze your hunt data free online. Get the new Deer Log app from ScoutlookWeather.com. The weathermen who hunt.
Don't just settle for the outlook. Get the Scoutlook.